Good morning, colleagues. It's a Saturday morning. Some of us are still either in bed, we out exercising. But you also know that sometimes you have work obligations on a Saturday morning. This morning I quickly want to chat about when we have that crucial conversations with our staff, school leaders. I find from my experience that these crucial conversations are vitally important, and when I refer to crucial conversations, I'm talking about when we speak to staff about their conduct, when we speak to staff about not meeting expectations. That's what I'm referring to. But if I can give any advice around handling and tackling these crucial conversations, I think there's a couple of things that leaders need to take responsibility for before those crucial conversations happen. So the first thing I think that must be in place is that you have set clear expectations. That means that can be verbal, can be written, whatever the case may be. The instructions and your expectations need to be clear. And I think it's even more so when you are a new principal in a new school. People are still expecting you to set expectations, whether it may have been an expectation by the previous principal. So just communicate your expectations and make it very clear what your expectations is. The second thing is, when you are going to address something with a staff member, you are either going to address it in an informal manner or a formal manner, depending on how often the particular thing has been happening, the transgression, whatever the case may be. But I would urge principals and school leaders that regardless of the level of that conversation, that you always speak from a platform of having facts and evidence. Don't go into those conversations with the wording like sometimes, always, I've noticed, and those types of things, because the human nature is just to deny, or they start turning the focus on what you are saying and not what you are trying to deal with. So say for example, you tell someone, you know what, I'm noticing that you are always late. They are going to turn that around and say, no, I'm not always late. And they could probably correct that they're not always late. One day a week that you are on time is not always. So my suggestion is, when you have a conversation, and if we use late coming as an example, that you say on Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday of last week you arrived late for work. On each of these occasions you were late by 5 to 10 minutes, and on Friday you were late for 20 minutes. That way the conversation is very clear and what you are trying to address is very clear, but you also have to have evidence for what you are saying. So school leaders, lead strong, do what you have to do to make sure that your organizations run as smoothly as possible, and that the operations are supporting the core business of the school, which is teaching and learning. Have an awesome Saturday and a good weekend. We'll chat soon.